is Samantha Anderson. Today we're going to be talking about the oxybenzone in sunscreens. There's been recent controversy over the marine biological subject of coral reef conservation. A 2017 study conducted at Ohio's Hanauma Bay estimated that the visitors left behind 412 pounds of sunscreen daily. Many sunscreens contain chemicals such as oxybenzone and octinoxate, which are proven to be harmful to the coral reefs. The purpose of this speech is to persuade society to become more educated on the ingredients that are present in the sunscreens that they use. As a person living during a time where coral reefs are on the verge of becoming extinct, it is important that you know which ingredients, chemicals play a role in destroying these beautiful reefs. Being an informed citizen can not only help you preserve these organisms, but it can also help you maintain a balanced ecosystem. The 3 points discussed in this speech are oxybenzone and sunscreen, negative impacts, and the solutions. Sunscreen is a skincare product used by people all over the world for skincare protection against UV rays released by the sun. UV rays come in 2 different forms: UVA waves, which are the long ones, and UVB waves, which are shorter. Although these rays are chemically different, they both can be harmful to the human skin by causing sunburns, premature aging spots, and cancer. Oxybenzone has been an active ingredient in various sunscreens since the U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the usage of it in the 1980s. It is allowed to be used in sunscreen products at a max concentration of 6% and is able to absorb both UVA and UVB rays. In doing so, the chemical is preventing the rays from penetrating into the dermis, which is the thickest layer of the human skin. By converting the sunburn causing UVB rays into harmless heat, oxybenzone is proven to reduce the likelihood of skin cancer and premature aging. So before we move on, let's talk about some of the myths. So a myth of sunscreen is only needed outside. In reality, it is important to wear inside and outside. A myth is the ocean is too large for oxybenzone to be dispersed. In reality, oxybenzone is absorbed by the water when tourists go swimming. A myth is only coral reefs are impacted by oxybenzone. In reality, every marine organism is impacted due to the unbalanced ecosystem. As mentioned before, oxybenzone is incorporated into most sunscreens since it has the ability to convert sun damage and prevent skin cancer. We've already discussed the benefits for the people who use it. What are the consequences? So corals are marine invertebrates, which belong to the Anthozoa class. These organisms are sessile, meaning that they permanently attach to the bottom of the ocean floor. Since corals are firmly attached to the floor, they make great places for other organisms to use as shelter or protection. Symbiosis is created on this basis in which each organism benefits from their relationship. The zooxanthellae use the coral for protection. In return, they produce oxygen and remove waste, benefiting the coral. So previous research has shown that oxybenzone is one of the main causes of coral bleaching. So in this graph, you can tell, so as the world population increases, the reef status, which is like the population of reefs, decreases due to the oxybenzone being released into the ocean. So oxybenzone is known to hinder the ability of the organism to obtain necessary resources while damaging its DNA and creating abnormalities in their growth and skeleton. So in this picture, you can see that this is a living coral, and it's really bright and colorful. And this is dead coral, and it's lost all its color and it's just white. So scientists at the Polytechnic University of the Marche region in Ancona, Italy, found that oxybenzone caused viruses within zooxanthellae, making them replicate until they explode. As a result, the spilled viruses into excess oxybenzone are dispersed into the surrounding water, infecting the coral communities. As you can see, oxybenzone has been proven to drastically harm coral reefs by causing bleaching and DNA abnormalities. This would cause a coral community to become unbalanced and create problems for the other organisms that rely on coral reefs. So what can people do to preserve these reefs and the surrounding marine communities. So in the current era, only a few areas that have pushed for the ban on oxybenzone. So it is important for people to get involved in environmental protection organizations that sign petitions and donate to further marine wildlife research. The ban can be pronounced worldwide with more research on the effects of oxybenzone on other organisms such as sea anemones, which are very similar to coral. Since corals are endangered and sea anemones are on the verge of becoming endangered, it is important to limit the factors that are destroying them, such as limiting the usage of oxybenzone in your everyday life. When buying sunscreen and skincare products at the store, it is important for you to check the information and ingredients on them to ensure that they don't contain chemicals like oxybenzone. People can opt for more natural skincare products and suggest doing the same to their family and friends. So it is important to remember that you play a large role in helping these marine organisms. By donating to a wildlife protection agency or choosing more natural skincare products, you are helping to prevent our coral reefs from dying out. So it is important to remember these 3 facts. Although it is important to wear a sunscreen to prevent sun damage, you can always choose to wear one that does not contain harmful chemicals. Oxybenzone is a very strong chemical that disrupts the DNA structure and size of corals. To prevent further coral bleaching and major wildlife damage, people can choose more environment-friendly products and doing their part to speak up on the problem. All in all, it is important to remember that your actions impact the environment that you live on. It is important to realize that you can make a difference. The marine organisms cannot speak for themselves, but you can by helping preserve their existence on this world. Keep that in mind next time you go to buy a skincare product. So, raise your hand if you are going to stop using sunscreens and skincare products with oxybenzone, or if you're going to help further the bans on oxybenzone. Thank you.